Sanbanani, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to yet another conscious conversation with your value coach, Coach Tseho. Alright, so in this video, what we're going to talk about what is the difference between a self-esteem and a self-image. Okay, we're going to talk about how the self-image and the self-esteem is created. We're also going to talk about the consequences of having a lower self-esteem and a poor self or a negative self-image. And lastly, because I am a goal-focused individual, I am a transformational coach, it is very important for me to also give tips in terms of what solutions can one do to help them, to assist them have positive self-image or a more higher self-esteem. All right, so let's get right into the video. So, what is the difference between a self-image and a self-esteem? So, when we speak about self-image, we are talking about a set of beliefs that you have about yourself. All right? When we talk about self-image, what we also talk about it is in the manner or the way or how you see yourself, right? The image that you have of yourself, how you see yourself, okay? And when we talk about self-esteem, we are talking about it is the level of the approval or acceptance, or it's like a stamp, of the set of beliefs that you have, right? So it is the level of which you approve, the level of which you validate, the level of which you accept the set of beliefs that you've been telling yourself, right? I'll make an example. Okay, so growing up, for example, when I would ask money from my parents, right, and I would ask money from my parents and my parents refuse, but when my younger sister or my older sister would ask for money and they would give it to them, so what happens is that I would start believing that I am not important, right? And therefore, there's a set of belief, and that's what we call self-image, all right? So, self-esteem is going to be the level of which I accept it. It's the level of which I put the stamp. It's the level of which I'm validating, right? To saying, yes, I am not important, right? Or I am not worthy, or I am not am loved or valuable, right? So it's the level, self-esteem is going to be the level of which you are accepting it, the level of which you are validating it, the level of which you are accepting and validating and approving. It's about approving of it. Okay, so that is what we call self-esteem, all right? It's the level of which you approve, that you validate, right? And what I normally say is that there is, when I say approval or acceptance, I mean that there is a motive behind it. There is a why behind it. So because I am not given money, or because my parents favor my younger sister or favor my older sister, and therefore I believe that I am, or I think that I'm not valuable, therefore, because of that, there's a reason behind what I say that, meaning I am validating it, I am approving it, I am accepting it, all right? And that is what self-esteem is. So that's the difference between what? Self-esteem and that's the difference between self-esteem and self-image. So another way of having to make an example about the difference between self-esteem and self-image is, growing up, I've always been a very nice, fresh, beautiful, cute girl, all right? So I was very fat. So whether it's going to be weddings or family gatherings, whatever the case may be, everyone would call me or say that I am fat. Okay, so that is what we call self-image. So I would see myself as what? Fat. Self-esteem is whether you accept it or approve it. Okay, so for many reasons, because I was such a flexible child, because I was very active, I was jumpy, for me, that did not make sense. Okay, it did not make sense for me to see myself as fat and still be very active. Why? Because of some of the assumptions that I had was that fat people are lazy. Because I was fat but I was not lazy, I could not accept it, right? Some of the things my parents would say is that, or my sisters or siblings and family or relatives, is that I am fat. But they would say, you know what, Hotho is fat, fresh, Motla, she's got a beautiful body, and then they would continue and say, but she's not lazy. She's just active. She's jumpy. She plays netball. I was one of those girls who was always in the team, in the athletic teams. I did everything. Okay, so because of I was very flexible and active, I could not accept. I could not correlate or find that balance between a fat and an active person. So therefore, I did not accept it, right? And for that reason, I found myself, in terms of my physical self, I had more confidence about my physical self, all right? I hope this makes sense. The difference between self-image and self-esteem. So how is the self-image created? How is the self-esteem created? So self-esteem and self-image. So let's start with self-image. So your self-image is created, or these set of beliefs, or how you see yourself, are created by one, what other people say to you, right? And this is mostly from your parents, and mostly from your siblings. It can be from religion, it can be from relatives, school, So what people say to you is one of the ways we create self-image, right? And secondly, it is what people say to you, and also how people treat you, right? And then self-esteem, like I said, it is the level of which you accept it. Whether you accept it, you approve it, you put a stamp, you approve of what being said, that's the level. So I like to make it, for example, 0 to 10, right? It's the level of which you accept, it's the level that you approve it, it's a validation. And this validation oftentimes is created by a reasoning, by a motive, right? There must be a reason behind why you say certain things about yourself, or believing rather. It is, so your self-esteem is going to be, if growing up you believed, right, that you were not enough. So the level of self-esteem would be the level of which you are accepting or approving of it. And this is mostly created by what? It is created by a certain reason. So, it's created by a certain reason. So, thirdly, how do we then find ourselves communicating and affirming this? So oftentimes, after things have been said to us or how we've been treated, we have this thing we call the mirror, right? That we growing up, we had this style, guys, of after being beaten by your parents or your siblings or your guardian or whatever the case may be, right? And you go to the mirror and have a conversation with yourself, right? You go to the mirror and talk about whether you are crying, whatever the case may be, and you'd affirm that I'm not good enough. You affirm in the mirror that I'm not loved, I'm not important, I'm not valued, I'm not worthy, that I'm stupid. So these are certain things that we say to our children, and they affirm and they repetitively. It's a mantra, you chant on it and chant over and over and over and over and over. You chant on it, right? And the more you say it, the more you affirm it, and the more that you start seeing evidence that is supporting the things that you are telling yourself. So your self-image is then created in that manner in which you approve, whether you are approving of what is being said to you or you're approving of the belief that you have, right? And that's how it is created. So the more we affirm to saying I am not enough, the more you start seeing things that are going to, it's an evidence that is going to validate, that's going to help you even approve, put a stamp on it to say yes, you are not valuable, that yes, you are not worthy, that yes, you are not loved, or you are not lovable, whatever the case may be. All right. So how we reprogram our subconscious mind, how we repetitively say the same thing is by when you are told that you are stupid, and you agree to it and you accept it, you validate it, you then have that conversation with yourself, right? Whether you are walking away, going home, whether walking away, going to school, or another thing that we love so much to do is go to the mirror and have that conversation to say, I am stupid. I am stupid. I am stupid. However, right, for the mere fact that you are accepting it, for the mere fact that you are approving it, and for the mere fact that you have put, you're validating and you put a stamp on it, you are now believing in it, right? The consequences of this is, firstly, this affects your entire life. And how it affects it is that based on your career, the choices that you make in terms of your career, the choices that you make in terms of relationship, the choices that you make in terms of how you raise your child, the decisions and the choices that you make in terms of your finances, just your overall personal development, right? You start making decisions according to the level, right? Not just only how you see yourself, or how you treat yourself, but the level of which you accept it. So if we were to put numbers to it, if we were to put number into this self-esteem from 0 to 10, and I say, if someone says I am not enough, and the level of which they believe that they are not enough, right? They start not only attracting, but they are approving of anything, any treatment, from work, from home, from their children, whatever the case may be, in terms of their finances, sabotaging themselves. They are approving the level of which they feel that they are unworthy or they are not enough. All right, that is how having a lower self-esteem or a poor self-image affects the rest of your life. It affects how you then start making decisions. Another example in terms of having a poor self-image is, for example, like I had spoken about not feeling that I'm important, right? However, when I look in terms of my body structure, because I have a beautiful body, and also because I'm very active, and I do take care of myself, it is easy for one as an individual, for me to use this part, my physical self, in order to fulfill the part that is not within me, right? And it's easy for me to do that. So one can do it positively and negatively. You can do it negatively in a sense of attracting men and boys, right? And using your confidence in terms of your body for other people to want to accept you, for other people to make you feel that you're important, for other people to feel that you are worthy, and for other people to feel that you are loved, by using what you feel that is confident. For what you feel that this is what makes me, or brings out all the strength in myself, in oneself. Okay, that's a negative way of then using that positive side, or that what you are confident about, in terms of fulfilling what you don't have within yourself. All right. Secondly, how you can use it positively in your life is, maybe, for example, if I love the way I look, I love my body, I can use my body, I can use how flexible I am by doing what is positive. And doing what is positive is doing exercises and teaching other people in terms of how they take care of their body, how they take care of having to lose weight in terms of their stomach, how they build muscles. That is a way of then using your body, or what you feel you are confident about, in a positive way. All right. So another consequences of having a negative or a poor self-image is that, I'll make an example, right? If you believe that you are not worthy, and you are accepting, you have created, found evidence that you are not loved, that you are not lovable, right? When you go into a relationship and you find this man who loves you over what you thought that you never thought that you would experience in your life, it is very easy for you to put this person in a pedestal. It's easy for you to put this person as your God, as the leader, as this huge thing, because I never experienced this much love. This is what I've always been seeking, right? It is love, right? We often look for things that we don't have within us, right? That are missing within us. And therefore, if I feel and believe that I am not worthy, I am not loved, I'm not unlovable, and there's someone who gives me what I have not received, it is easy for me to put that person as this powerful person, right? And what happens is that there's superiority and inferiority, and these are one of the things that abusers can take advantage of, because they know that you will walk in the ground that they walk in, that you will do anything just so you can continuously feel that you are loved, so that you can continuously feel that you are valuable, that you are lovable. So it's easy for someone to then place you as a victim or prey on you. It is very important that I give you tips and things to help you reprogram your subconscious mind, for you to have a positive self-image, for you to now raise your bar, or have a higher self-esteem. All right, so this is the task that you're going to do. All right. So based on your own individual experience, when I say own individual experience, is that we may be raised by the same father, we may be raised by the same mother. However, our experience of the same parent is different, all right? And therefore, you've got different beliefs, and you've got, and there's certain validations or evidence that you have seen in your life, right? Each and every individual has their own experience, okay? So this is what you're going to do. On a piece of paper, similar to this, all right? So you will make it half. So you will make it half, all right? So on this side of the page, what you're going to do, I hope this is visible. So on this side of the page, you are going to write all the reasoning or all the evidence of why you think you are not enough, why you think you are not worthy, why you think you're not lovable, or all the things that make you feel uncomfortable growing up, right? You're going to write down the reasons. And this side, you're going to affirm or write down all the things that you believed. So I'll make an example. So if I got 80% and if I got 80% and my parents said, you do not do enough, you were supposed to get 95. That made me feel that anything that I did was not enough. And therefore I felt that I am not enough, right? So on this side, you write down what you believe, that I am not enough. Because why? Because when I would get 80, then they want a higher mark. Okay. So for example, the second one is that I felt that I was not valuable. What is the reason? Why did you feel that you were not valuable? I felt that I was not valuable, for example, because I didn't receive the money when I asked for it, and when I asked for it first. So maybe I felt that there was favoritism, and I felt that I was not valuable. Okay. I felt that I was not important, and the reason is because I felt that every time I was disappointed for all the things that I want, for example. All right. I felt that I was not loved. What are the reasons? The reasons is because I never received hugs, I never received kisses, I was never shown appreciation, I was never told that I am beautiful, and therefore I felt that I am not loved. So you'll write down the reason. Okay. So these are the things that you believed, right? These are the things that you told yourself. These are the ideas that you put in your head, right? There are other things that these are not your perceptions, but these are things that were said to you. These were treatments. They're not treatments, but these are things that are said to you. For example, if you made a mistake and your parents would say, you are stupid. So these are the words that they said, that you are stupid, and therefore that's what you believe, that you're stupid, right? So you'll write the reasoning, and you write down what you affirmed, right? Or what you chant on, or the mantra that you would continuously say or repetitively say. Okay. And then what you're going to do is, on the side, you're going to write, on those affirmations, you're going to write down the levels of which you accepted it, the level of which you approved it, and the level that you put a stamp on it, right? And you can rate it from 0 to 10 to saying, I hope this is visible, guys. You will rate it from 0 to 10 to saying, when I thought that I was not enough, and if I were to put an estimate to it, I would say I felt that it's an 8 out of 10, for example, right? So put that on the side, all right? That's what you're going to do first. After that, you are going to now do the opposite. On the other page, you're going to have another sheet. Keep it half. and write down all the opposite of the affirmations that you've written on the side. You're going to write them on the side. So instead of writing I am not enough, you're going to say I am enough, I am valuable, I'm important, I am loved, right? I am intelligent, right? So you're going to affirm, right? And when you affirm, in order for you to change how you see yourself, and in order for you to change, or for you to have a different reasoning or a why, you need to have a different reasoning, pardon me, right? So I am valuable because, right? So there are things in your life that you have done, right? That when you look at it, that these were the best moments of your life. These are the achievements that you had in your life. This was the happiest moments in your life, right? And for that reason, that can tell you that you are enough, right? There are things that you believe that if you think about it, right, growing up, that you had a certain unique character, right? You had this very unique character, right? And for that reason, that makes you that you are valuable, because you are the only person who's got that particular character. That is only uniquely you, right? I am important. Why? Why do you think you're important? So there's other things like your strengths. There's other things in terms of your qualities that affirm that you are important, because these are the only things that only you uniquely have. All right? That affirms that you are enough. That affirms that you are capable. That affirms that you are valuable. That affirms that you are loved. All right? Other things is you can ask other people to tell you about your character strength or qualities, and they would affirm to saying why, and ask them questions. Why do you say that? That is another way of then reprogramming your subconscious mind. That's another way of having a different image of yourself. But importantly, whether you approve it or not. So we approve something because there's evidence. We approve something because we validate it. There's a reason, there's a motive behind it, right? So in order to find that reasoning, in order for you to have a positive self-esteem, you need to have positive reasons of why you believe that you are worthy, why you believe you are lovable, why you believe that you are enough and loved, right? So these are the things that you tell yourself. But there are other things that they are said to you when they said you are stupid. Looking at your life now, right? So if I'm going to say the opposite of stupid is intelligent. So if I say I am intelligent, right? What are the reasons? Why do I say that I am intelligent, right? I read books. I'm clever. I know how to reason, So those are the things that can affirm that why you are intelligent. Another way of creating positive affirmations for yourself, or different reasoning, is to look at what you are grateful for. So for example, I'm grateful that I woke up today this morning. I am grateful that I slept full, right? I'm grateful that I ate, I'm grateful that I'm able to dress myself and look beautiful. And therefore I am beautiful. Therefore, I am blessed. Therefore, I am important, So, for example, where I work currently, I'm the only NLP practitioner and only NLP life coach. It tells me that I am unique, right? It tells me that I'm authentic. It tells me I'm important, I'm valuable, right? So these are the things that I'm grateful for this opportunity. And also, I'm able to affirm what I already see. Okay, so that's another way of creating affirmation for yourself, is to look at what you are grateful for. Okay, that is one part. Another way of having a different reasoning, but this is mostly for our kids, right? So this is mostly for our kids. So every single day, have a meeting with your children, all right? Have a meeting with your children and ask them, what have I done today that made you sad? What have I done today that you did not like, right? And your children will then explain to say, I did not like when you shouted at me because I made a mistake. I didn't know, right? And they will give you reasons of what happened onto that particular situation or scenario. tomorrow, right? And therefore, you can start changing the narrative in terms of what they think or believe, right? So, for example, if your child says, I didn't like mommy when you hit my hand, it was very painful, right? And ask them, how did that make you feel? I felt like you don't care, right? And then you will change the reasoning, right, to saying, I am sorry, I apologize, I did not mean to hit your hand, it was a mistake. I thought one, two, three. Now they are having a reason to say, oh, she made a mistake because of one, two, three, and she didn't mean it. And therefore, the child is able to change the narrative, the child is able to change the conversation that they have in themselves. So instead of them saying, my mom or my father does not care about me, they now know that you care, right? And that's another way when you now change the narrative. Now I know I'm valuable. Now I know that I'm authentic. Now I know that I'm loved. Now that I know I am beautiful. Now I know that I am authentic. Now I know that I am a queen. Now I know that I'm intelligent. So you change the narrative. And oftentimes, how you communicate with your children is focused on what you would like. And also, you affirm. So be careful also about what you say to them. You know, you've got a big nose or big head or big ears, or so affirm what is positive, affirm what you would like for them to see in themselves. All right. And yeah, so I hope and I pray this was valuable. I hope and pray that you have found value, that you felt this video was very important, that importantly that you've learned, and also that you are transformed, that you are enlightened, you are shaken a bit, right? And yeah, I hope that these tips that I've given you, have a conversation with your children every night and ask them what you have done for them to, that they feel that it was bad, right? And give reasoning, and also tell them why you did the things that you do. Okay. So because we are trying to get to 100 subscribers, this is the step that we are taking. Do please on your YouTube, please kindly subscribe to the channel, like, love, share with your friends and family. I hope that you guys will have a blessed day. I love you. Bye bye.